that means you guys can hear me okay? Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. My name is Courtney. I am one of the zookeepers here at Alligator Adventure, and this is our reptile show. I do have a few park rules I have to go over real quick, but we will get to all the fun stuff real soon. Now, rule number 1 is going to be the most important rule while you're here today. We've asked, please do not have anyone sitting on your shoulders or sitting or standing on the fencing around the park today. We just don't want anyone to accidentally bump into you if someone goes into an area they're not supposed to be in. For example, an alligator pool. So again, please just do not have anyone sitting on your shoulders while you're here today. Rule number 2 is please no running. That is for your own safety, but as well, please do not run past the mountain lions or the hyena. That can actually scare them and stress them out, so please just be nice and calm around all the animals you see here today. And then rule number 3 is everything that you do see here, this is the animal's home, their habitat, so please do not throw anything at them, try to touch them, or give them any of your food while you're here. Everyone sound good? Awesome. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, what exactly is a reptile show? Just means I'm going to be bringing out 2 different animals for everyone, and I will be walking right in front of you, so you guys can see these animals up close. Now the first animal we are not going to be touching, but the second animal will be here after the show for you to touch and take photos with if you'd like to. So if you're sitting in the front row, please do not reach out for the first animal. I'll let you guys know when we can touch the second animal. Does that still sound good? Yeah? You guys ready for the first animal then? You sure? You guys ready? There we go. Well, if you guys just give me one quick minute, I'll be right back.
Gators, baby gators. He's happy.
All right, everyone. Well, our first friend today is Candy Corn. Does anyone want to say hi, Candy Corn? Candy Corn here is an Arizona mountain king snake. So where do you think you find him? Arizona in the mountains, yes. So his name is going to give you his exact location. So you're not going to find this snake here in South Carolina. Now they are starting to show up in parts of California and even down into Mexico as well. But a good majority of them are still in the mountains of Arizona. Now they're going to be staying on the ground, so you really won't find them climbing up in any trees or being in the water unless they need to get something to drink. They're going to be hiding under any rocks and crevices that they can find out there. Now if he kind of straightens himself out a little bit, we'll see if I can try to do it for him. There we go. He's not the biggest snake out there. This is him full grown. So again, he's not that big of a snake, but he is actually only about 2 years old. He'll be 3 here in the next month. So he is a little bit on the younger side, but sadly out there in the wild, he actually would have only lived to be about 4 to 6 years old. We're here in captivity. We have seen our snakes like Candy Corn live to be over 20 years old. Ooh. And that is just because here with us, we keep them nice and safe, so they don't have to worry about those predators being different snakes, different types of birds, but even smaller mammals like foxes and raccoons go after snakes as a food source. Then of course we supply all the food for them, so they don't have to go hunting for their own food. And then we do have a veterinarian here as well for them. So that's how we're able to double and sometimes triple the lifespan of all the animals you'll see here today. So even though he's still very young, we hope we have many, many more years with him here. But now as I walk around with him, you might notice he keeps sticking his tongue out at you. Do you know what he's doing? Smelling, yes, good job. He is going to be smelling everyone right now. If you're sitting in the front row, he can see you. If you're sitting further back, he cannot see you. So he does not have that really good eyesight like some of us here do. But that is why he's just constantly sticking that tongue out, because he's just trying to figure you guys out, see if you guys are friends or if you're food. Now, how exactly is he smelling with his tongue? Well, he's just collecting all the particles in the air, bringing them back into his mouth, where he's going to touch the roof of his mouth called his Jacobson organ. And that is what's going to send the signal to his brain to let him know exactly what he is smelling right now. So again, he's just kind of checking you guys out, trying to see who you are. Now, yes, he has a nose, but the nose is for breathing only. He can't pick up scents like we can. But now he could be looking for some food. Now what exactly is he going to eat? Well, he's really just going to eat small mice is all he's really going to go after. He could go after smaller snakes, like baby snakes. But here with us, we do just give them rodents, as that's the best type of food for them. Now, he actually only eats once a week. He does not eat every single day like we do, and that is just because he is a constrictor. A constrictor is just how he's going to eat his food. He's going to wrap his body around that mouth, squeeze it really tight, and then swallow it whole. Yes, he does have teeth in his mouth. He actually does have over 40 teeth in that little tiny mouth of his. But those teeth are really just there to help catch his food if it was to run past him, or even protect him out there in the wild if anything was to attack him. So again, he is going to be swallowing his food whole. He does not chew it like we do. Now then, a lot of people always like to ask, is he a venomous or a non-venomous snake? What do you guys think?
Venomous.
Yeah, he's a non-venomous snake. I would not have a venomous snake out here. That'd be a little too dangerous for all of us. But now, if you are into snakes, make sure you guys go into our serpentarium today. It's actually this green building right behind the stage. There's a door over there by the hyena, but also by the snack bar. And we have snakes from all around the world, venomous and non-venomous, of all different sizes. Now, they're all behind glass, so you guys can still see them pretty close up, because a lot of times they're hanging out really close to the glass for you to see. But you're safe, so that's the biggest part there. Now, he is this bright orange color, though, because he wants to look venomous. To a lot of animals in the wild, a bright color usually indicates it's a venomous animal. So he's this bright coloration to try to look bigger and scarier than what he actually is. Because of course, this bright color, he's going to stick out there in the wild. There's not really much for him to camouflage into and keep himself protected from. So he just tries to look bigger and scarier than what he is with this bright coloration to him. But again, he is a non-venomous snake. So if he still bit, he would hurt, but I wouldn't have to go to the hospital. It's a good way I always like to explain it. But now, everyone, that is actually the last little information about this guy here. So does anyone have any questions before we go to our next animal today? No? You guys ready for the next animal then? Yeah? What do you think it's going to be?
Gator.
An alligator? An alligator? Anything else but an alligator? Someone asked me for an elephant the other day. I'm sorry, we do not have those here. A bird?
A porcupine.
Okay. I think I heard someone say a turtle when I walked past. Yeah? A lizard? Well, I like all these guesses, but I'm going to keep it a surprise for a little bit longer. Now, does everyone here want to say goodbye to candy corn?
Bye.
And I'll be right back with our next animal.
You should get a turtle. A gator would kill you. It's a gator!
Alright, everyone. Well, what do I have here?
Gator!
An alligator! Yes. So this guy is going to be one of our American alligators. And he's going to be found from North Carolina down to Florida, but as far out towards Texas as well. Now, there is actually only 2 species of alligators in the world. We have the American, and then we also have the Chinese as well. Now, given the Chinese name, where do you think you find them?
China.
In China, yes. So you find the American alligator in the United States, and the Chinese alligator in China. But sadly, though, the Chinese alligator is on the endangered species list. That just means there's not many of them left out there in the wild. We do have a few located at the very front of the park, but everything right here behind me on the dock or in the water, those are all going to be young American alligators. Now this alligator here is about 2 years old, so just like the snake candy corn, he's still pretty young. Out there in the wild, they will live to be about 30 to 40 years old, where here in captivity, we actually have seen them live closer to 80 years old. So that's another big increase in life just because they're nice and safe, we provide the food, And of course we have our veterinarian for them as well. But now he still has a lot of growing to do. He's not done growing just yet. Once he is full grown though, he'll be anywhere from 8 to 15 feet in length and weigh about 1,000 pounds. So in a couple of years, I definitely will not be able to carry him around as easily as I am today. But they're pretty slow growers, so it is going to take them a little while to get to max length. But if I hold him up a little bit more, maybe you'll notice that his tail already makes up about half of that body size. And the tail is going to continue to grow to always be about half the body size because the tail is very important. Now, if this guy gets into the water, he'll actually be able to reach speeds of about 20 miles per hour. Where on land, they run about 5 miles per hour. So that's not a little bit slower on land, but still, you never want to get too close to an alligator on land or in the water. But now the tail again is also very important because once they're done swimming, this is how they get back up to the surface for air. They just drop their tail like an anchor and their head floats right up to the surface. That's how they're going to get air. But now we do have an alligator missing a tail. Has anyone met her today? What's her name? Bob, yes. So Bob is the American alligator without a tail. Her full name is Bobette, and she was born here almost 27 years ago. Her birthday is this coming August, but she was born here without a tail. That is a very common birth defect, but sadly, if she was born in the wild, she would have had a 0% chance of surviving. Because as soon as she hatched from her egg, sadly, she would have drowned the moment she stepped into the water. Because she doesn't have that tail to help bring her back up to the surface. So that's why you're going to notice that her pool is a little bit smaller, but that's just so her feet can always touch the bottom, so she can walk in and out of her pool on a hot day, get a little soak, but also be able to come right back out nice and safe. But again, she's located in Crocodile Cove, so if you have not seen her yet, make sure you go all the way back to the hospital. She'll be located right in front of that green building. But now if I go all the way up to this alligator's head, excuse me, you probably have noticed I have his mouth taped. Why do you think I did that?
So he doesn't bite anymore.
I don't want you to get bit. You guys are all going to be able to touch this alligator later today. So once the show's over, excuse me, you guys will get to touch him, and then I will take it off and put him right back with his friends. It's not blocking his nose or his eyes. It's just going to keep you guys safe while you get to touch him. That's the reason why I cleared the stage when I came out, because they are still a little scary when they are, even though I work with them, and I've worked with them for a couple of years now, they will still try to bite at our ankles. So this is just for everyone's safety. But if you do notice, his little baby teeth is sticking out of his mouth. He actually has 80 teeth in his mouth, and throughout his lifetime, he will go through about 3,000 teeth. So just like a shark, they are able to regrow those teeth back over time. Now, he's not that strong right now. He is probably strong enough to break a finger on everyone here. But if he was full grown, he would have a bite force of about 2,100 pounds per square inch. That just means that he's going to be able to break every single bone in our body, but as well bite through concrete. So he is actually going to be the third strongest animal in the animal kingdom, with number 1 and number 2 being crocodiles. The Nile crocodile and the saltwater crocodile have a bite force closer to 3,000. They're going to be much stronger than our American alligators. Now, what is an alligator going to eat in the wild? They're going to eat anything they want, from fish, turtles, crabs, birds, any type of meat they will go after. Sadly, alligators actually go after each other as a food source. That is why we have them all separated by size, because out there in the wild, an adult alligator will actually go after their own young as a food source. So again, for everyone's safety, that's why we have all of them separated, trying to keep them about the same size, a little bit of difference, which doesn't hurt, but we definitely can't have an alligator this size in with our 13-footers. That would be a little too dramatic for them. But now everyone, speaking of food, our next show is actually with me again, so I hope you're not tired of me just yet. But I will be actually feeding some alligators at 5 o'clock today. If you have not seen it yet, or you'd like to see it again, it's going to be located right behind this bleachers here, right next to that white building. There's a pathway. It says Wildlife Walk. And I'll be feeding the alligators out there. We do have some bigger guys, closer to 10 to even 13 feet out there, so way bigger than this little guy here. But I'll get them jumping out of the water for you and explaining a little bit more on how exactly we feed all of our alligators here. But again, that's the next show at 5, and then right here at 6 o'clock we will have another reptile show if you're interested in coming back tonight. But now everyone, that is going to go ahead and be all the information I have about this alligator. So I know everyone's going to be excited to touch him. When you are touching the alligator, I just ask, please only touch his back or his tail. You just don't want to get poked by those little teeth. And I'm going to be hanging out by the gate that I've been using today. So I just ask everyone to form a nice line down this aisleway for me, just so everyone is able to see the alligator that would like to. But thank you guys so much for joining me, and I really hope y'all have a great rest of your day here at Alligator Adventure.